Yo, we in the game? I had to go in and look up and see what's up. I'm gonna have a I got gang stalkers, man. The sun ain't out blazing like that. They try to cover the sun up so people gonna try to get my attention. And like I said, that's how it is. But y'all see the title though. FARRAKHAN, man. You know what's up. You know what a con is. Ain't gonna waste energy on these people, man, because they trying to, it's the Sabbath, so I usually don't even go on Sabbath, but this is true. We're dealing with true Sabbath, so a lot of our family was they're on the false Sabbath that's on a Saturday. Some of our family ain't even on Sabbath. It's been a tremendous brainwashing and taking over of our people, man. Trying to make us feel a certain way. And the best way to explain it is through this cluster B personality disorder, narcissism, sociopaths. Those who look for a supply source to validate their weak needs, their weak desires. So yeah, it's really tight. So I got a lot of subscribers that's from around the world, and they don't really know what the hell's going on. It's time to get the false prophets and everything back, to them. The title. Some of my, like I say, subscribers around the world, they don't, know what the hell's going on, but we're breaking it down just for the future anyways. So when we're building about FARRAKHAN, this is a man who stepped up to the plate to try to lead original people in America to the promised land type stuff. Even got 1 million niggas together to come to the Capitol, and without even making no type of money, putting no type of marketing scheme up to say, look, we can all put $1 up right now. We can grab this little boom, this land right here, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we know we can do it. But the only way we can do it now is if we cultivate our kundalini, our sexual energy. It's a way and method. These people try to get you and market to your soul and your spirit. FARRAKHAN knows that. He knows that the nigga in America is. He knows that the nigga in America. I'm from Mississippi. Jackson. Cradle of America. To overstand America, you gotta understand a place like Mississippi first. Went up the Nile to the north through Memphis, up to the top of the Nile of the west, which is, Minnesota, where it starts. So anyhow though, we're on this topic as far as like building with hey, what's happening to Melova? Greetings from Croatia. Woo, bless. Glad you're in here and joined in, because now you can get filled in with what's going on in the world. I know you see what's happening with the powers that be, good versus evil. And it don't matter what nationality we is, because Most High blessed us with all kinds of A-likes, B-likes, and C-likes, and all different nationalities, so we'll get it, you know what I mean? So anyhow though, this is a man that tried to mislead us, we're like a sheep. And the NAGA in America is very much like a sheep. But he's very kind and compassionate, even though we seem like we're buck. And we are. We just don't want to get to that point when they have to see that fire, that fire-breathing dragon coming out. But it's going to have to see, But anyhow, though, FARRAKHAN, I don't know if y'all know that, this man came together, he came up, and he wanted to market to us and try to get us to go to a false heaven. A false heaven is already made in atmosphere. This is why they do so much in the atmosphere, trying to destroy, certain layers so they disrupt your signal from your home, basically, where you go to rest at. And when you go to rest at nighttime, you go to your spiritual home in heaven. This is not like you just lay there and don't do nothing. No, your real you moves around, and the physical you is kept alive by the Ha, which is the Creator's breath. And so the Creator's breath is present in everything. I'm talking about through everything. It's F. It's a part of the 5 platonic shapes, which is you get the last platonic shape, which is I think it's not the dodecahedron. I think it's ISO. I gotta pull it up. It's been a long time since I looked at it, but it's the shape that got a whole bunch of vertices and all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's perfection. Anyhow, though, getting off topic. Farrakhan, I want to stay right on this because he knows that niggas is from America, and he kind of tried to teach to niggas in America that, yo, we from Africa and we were unable to swim 9,000 miles to get back there. But nobody really claims us in Africa. Now you see, this is a big old marketing scheme right now because they're trying to get niggas to go to Africa. They're getting a lot of niggas getting up like, yo, why don't you just come over here? Why don't you come over here? Remember, if you've been over to certain parts of Africa, you happen to have ancestors that left America and went there and died and had elaborate, burial ceremonies. However, with Farrakhan, he says that we were stolen from Africa and brought to America. Now, these buildings that were built in America, they're gonna give you little false narratives too, like the Tatari and all of that good stuff, because that's present in Asia. And a lot of this goes together too, with the Asiatic black man, maker, owner, cream of the planet Earth, father, civilization, God of the universe. Peace. CEO, peace. Life fam. You know what I'm saying? Once they blessed me with another white fella and another black and white fella right there. So I'm like, okay, we got to jump into this. This is true Sabbath. This is the lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse about to pop off. Right on my time is gonna pop off at 1:30. For the rest of for where it's gonna pop off at in New Zealand out that way, it's gonna be at I think a little later. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, we're over here. We're doing what we do. So this is where we're really supposed to be resting. But I had to jump in because Saturday is not the Sabbath. This is really simple to follow. We're going to cosmically align up. You're going to have the desire to want to do the higher you. You know what I mean? Once we start lining up cosmically what's going on in the sky, this is why they mess with the atmosphere. Back to that part. Excuse me. Because we're going to get on Farrakhan's ass too, because his wife is a Native American, and he never... And shout out to Mama T for popping up this little video, man. She dropping these jewels up over there, man. If y'all know who Mama T is, I'm gonna put the links to all the real ones in subscription. Y'all can get caught up around the world to the Light family and the Light tribe that we got going on over here. And I had to be separated for a second, you know what I'm saying, so we can get our shit back. You know what I mean? So anyhow, though, Farrakhan knows that he knows it because he's seen his wife dance. He never seen his wife dance before. She held that from him. So when he's seen her dance, he's seen her do, how niggas do. We get in a circle. We do our little dance or whatever. We just representing the creator, showing the gift that the creator gave us, the talent that he gave us, So that's what we do in America, you know what I mean? And so he'd say he never seen that. So being like almost brainwashed when you're coming from the NOI, where Farrar Muhammad comes to America through the Ottoman Empire, you start breaking it down, to market to niggas and tell them that, yo, man, and try to clean niggas up. People were following that narrative because, there were books that were written by a 4th grade educated man named Elijah Muhammad. I don't think he got further than seventh grade or whatnot. My dad was a 4th grade reader, you know what I mean? But he loved to try to read. He'd be sitting there like, and the man went, he had to be singing, reading to us. He was a hood ass thinker and shit, so he had to read that. But, hey, what's happening, Curtis? What's good, Barbara Crumb? What's happening? You gotta be cracking up, Kurt. Hey, and it's like, just if you see what's in the sky, no mothership ain't moving these planets around to be in certain houses in the zodiac with the cross that's in the sky. Because Malachi, remember, you said ain't no cross in the sky. There's the cross in the sky. Shout out till we know the truth now, because now we got the brothers with the receipts that come through. I ain't even gotta go do none of that goddamn work. All I gotta do is just focus on this. Like, yo, nigga, all we gotta do is this part to add on to all that information. So anyhow, Farrakhan knew. So he further keeps on trying to teach niggas and have niggas on the corner begging for money with the American currency instead of taking the money that he could have got from 1995 Million Man March. I was around. I didn't even go outside in honor of that day. But I didn't go to D.C. and I could have went to D.C. You know what I mean? But he got a million niggas together and couldn't come up with a divine business plan for us to get our own area and acre. But now, I'm like, yo, I already know what we can do. The land is over in Arizona, big dogs. You know what I mean? They didn't want to tell you that. They want to make sure you grab the areas where you use that with all the hell went down. Your ancestors telling you this. We had a big-ass vast city, which is a vast heaven over there. And, in the Arizona, Utah, all that area, Utah, all that. So we got a lot of ancestors over there waiting, but you got to get up your kundalini because this is very supernatural shit popping off over there, and they know it. You can't get over there when you spook and you low on your light and you've been busting nuts, you know what I'm saying, every single day, you'll be spiritual. You want to be able to lay on the ground and sleep outside. You know, it's built for crystals. You're a crystal being. So they know where the true land is at, the promised land is at. They ain't doing nothing to try to get you prepared to get to this land. Yeah, eating is cool. Elijah Muhammad came with the eating to learn how to eat to live. That was great. We've seen another aspect of eating because we was under a spell, necromancy. You know, these people took over our shit and did a lot of traumatizational things to our family. And so we had to hold this in our genes. So every spirit that came in had to be strong because of the gene was already made, like for him to pop into the game. Like, you're not like this. It's just the gene was made to defend and fight or fight response with this cluster B. You ain't like this. You know what I mean? They gaslighted and projected their insecurities onto you. They're narcissists, sociopaths. They got to go around the world and get validated by other countries and other empathic people who are of the creator. You know, so when they seen our land, they like, damn, these motherfuckers is all of the creator. And so everybody's attacking still, spiritually now. It's like, they got the NOI, we got the Moors. The Moors shit just keep changing up as the Most High just showing his ass with his babies. Like, the Moors can say, oh yeah, we was over here doing this too, and this, and this, and then this, and then like, man, fall the fuck back. You know what I'm saying? Most High is doing the daggone work. You know what I mean? You lost. You couldn't get us 100 years ago. You ain't gonna get us now. And we gave you time. The best thing we can do now is go with what's right and exact, which is knowledge being the foundation. Wisdom is the way to the understanding. That should improve our culture. So we had an original man that birthed these supreme mathematics that was from the South. A baby of the Most High. So tapped in that the other children called him the father, because they didn't have a father. He had to come up north to come to individuals and build with them. You know, gave them mathematics. This can be proven at no limit of time, just like sacred geometry. You just put it together. We just happen to use the language and the syllables and the words play that they got now, and showing and proving that yo, this is the Most High's handiwork right here. So as you can see, the shit in the sky, it's on like hot butter popcorn, because you can use this energy right now to refine, because we got Virgo, and everything's happening in the constellation of Virgo, tropically, and then Leo, vertically, Vedically, or where we're saying heaven-wise, you know, because you got two different types of self. Your higher self is like that degree ahead of you when you're in tropic form. Remember, they try to mess up our zodiacs because they know that we was going to tap into that. What's his name? Autonomy, I think. He came and tried to reverse the nodes, the south and north nodes, so you won't be able to tap into who you is. It was made simple for us to be able to do. Now we have to use the discernment, because they took all shit away from us. That means we have to tap into the source, the soul. You know what I mean? We can't even believe a damn motherfucker. That's when you really have to cultivate the light within, with the Most High yourself. And then the Most High magnetize you with your other brothers and sisters that see the A alike, B alike, and C alike, just like you do. Especially if you're cultivating the energy, you're not running around, You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, you know, you can't be intimate, but you get to a point, you're gonna see it's serious. You know what I'm saying? Your ancestors is real. They're just on a high vibratory frequency. They already lived a mortal life. So they're here to give you this understanding now, like, of basically the heavens that we're on. So once we get up to a certain vibrational frequency, we'll be able to go to the promised land, because that land is hot as hell. It's like 100 degrees. Stones and copper and shit grow in this land. You know what I mean? So your crystalline element, your melanin molecule, not no carbon, not no 666, none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's weak and flimsy. Ain't none of that shit gonna live over there or burn up, man. That's a flimsy thing. Only fucking fossilized trees, diamonds, and fucking emeralds and shit can live on that type of fucking climate, and other type of animals. Why? Because you're more crystalline, you're more silica based. There's more silica based over there. You can make shit out of the damn land over there like you're in a crystal castle, basically, because it's more silica based. And that's what niggas need to be around in order to heal and get that power. You know, like Superman. Superman didn't live in ice, nigga. That nigga lived in crystal. You know what I mean? Just that our crystal is just the same color as our copper, you know, skin. You know what I mean? That's all. And once you get in tune, you get ready and prepared. Most sides just preparing the babies, man. And this is the preparation. These 14 months is very crucial. I mean, it's very crucial to get your kundalini up and keeping it up at a high level, especially at the crown chakra. At 7 to 8 months, you're going to get attacked all the time according to your desires and your aspirations and shit. Because these entities, these Judas, they latch on to you. false prophets ain't gonna say that. They wanna just market to your shit, say you ain't from America, that you ain't the most advanced spiritual species on earth. That you ain't the one they wasn't closest to the Most High. Most High say they only know you. That's it. And they got a lot of things planned for you and shit. Here and in the S world. You know what I mean? So in order to do that, you gotta have some form of discipline. And us to take this discipline back, as far as the Israelites, because as far as the Israelites, there's a more mass amount of Israelite men than there is like NOI men. But the NOI, you can all use this time to end with these the solar eclipse and the Sabbath being today, the true Sabbath, G. You know what I mean? We don't do it on Saturdays. We do it on the sacred day of the moon. And this so happened to be this sacred day lines up with the solar eclipse. So that just shows and proves. That's the confirmation. That means Most High is talking. And the angels is talking, and your ancestors talking to you too, man. They know what you're supposed to be doing. Your heart is the vortex that listens, that the Most High is communicating to you with. He only knowing you. And it's going to show, and it's going to separate us. We're going to be all separated from the world. The world don't even deserve to be around us any goddamn way right now at this point. They trying too hard. It's like they trying to treat us like they narcissistic supply too. Like they treating us like the white folks treating us and shit. Like, hold up, man. Yeah, we were just being kind to you motherfuckers, man. But now we got to break up. You know when you break up with a narcissist, man, that motherfucker going to come through the house, knocking on your door, banging, what you doing over there? All that shit, nigga. You got to be real serious to stand on your square when you're dealing with a narcissistic or psychopathic breakup. A psychopath will try to kill your ass. And America is a psychopath, G. Nigga all over the world. They ain't bringing no smoke to China type shit or maybe motherfuckers that they feel that's a little bit beneath them that may bring some smoke to. Just to be like, nigga, we got the nigga. You know what I'm saying? The main resource, you know what I'm saying? But now shit's starting to, everything's shifting. You know, all them planes in the sky that hell, they got to go through every day they got to jump up in the sky and put that shit up there to try to disrupt our connection with our ancestors, because there's heavens that are higher than this plateau that we're on, which is called Earth, which is like, basically we only can get up to 36,000 feet in the sky, and they get to fly across wherever, and maybe 36,000 miles or whatever. Well, 36,000 feet, yeah, not 1,000 miles. No, that's as far as up. 36,000 feet, you know what I mean, in the sky. That's not even from your house to downtown probably or some shit. You know what I mean? That's not far. You gotta understand, this shit is layered in buoyancies and frequencies and densities. It's all water, but not the water that we're thinking, But it's set up in there. Some right here, we feel that this water that we're sitting in is basically humid, but it's so thin that we can't see it. But it's gonna be even lighter water when you transition, you hit your other bodies and things of that nature. But you're learning now how to cultivate all your light bodies through your resurrections while you're on Earth. So they didn't teach us this. False prophets didn't teach us this. They was too busy marketing to us. And FARRAKHAN knows this already. This is talking about FARRAKHAN too, because he's the one that got niggas in the hood with the newspaper trying to make a business for what? We don't have no land. We don't have 1,600 farm. We had 1,600 acres of farmland. You know how many niggas you can feed? You can have a grocery store. You can have a farmer's market. You can go to the farmer's market and promote and have your booth at every farmer's market in the fucking United States. You know what I'm saying? But you're marketing like we came from somewhere else. But I seen it in his eyes when he seen that his wife was dancing the way he's like, I never seen that. He's amazed. Like, yeah, you're amazed because she got right to the root, right? She talked to the creator right there in front of you and did something that tapped into her divine feminine energy right there. You know what I mean? Moving, circular motions, off the chain. I already know, because that's what niggas do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been on. And we've been saying niggas to each other, and that's why they say it to us, because we always say it to each other. We always been saying it. Some of us said it more, some of us said it less. Some of us stopped saying it because they were saying it to us in a derogatory form. Some of us like, man, I ain't gonna say that shit. I ain't gonna call you that anymore. Some of us did like that, you know what I'm saying? Some of us, it's power in the word though. Because we all call each other kings. Most of us said we used to call each other kings, shepherd kings. So beware of false shepherds. They season over with. Most of us showing you through the eclipse, through the great conjunction, the Saturn, the Jupiter, the Pluto, revealing the underworld, the shit that's going on right now. I did a video, I put these links down, the Tatari and all that. It was a little bit ahead. My niggas wasn't talking about it all the way right there. I'm striving to get everybody to jump on it then, but they started studying it, and it's up. And I ain't have to really do much. It just shows that the Most High is that you tapped into the Creator, the one that only knows you. Meaning that inspired you to be able to be like, damn, let me look at this shit. Oh, what is this? You mean to tell me? I did some videos straight up and down, right up at the Mississippi River, because there's some rich-ass mansions up there with organs in the houses that ain't been played, and these white folks don't even know what to do. On Summit Avenue, St. Paul, the governor's mansion, you know what I'm saying? How the city is made up with the dome buildings, big as hell, man. You know what I mean? I did them videos and shit, you know, and showing all this stuff. And Muggs wasn't up on it. Certain people was up on it. They was like, man, you a little bit. And I was a little bit ahead at that time, so I knew they were gonna catch up. So now it's ready. They're gonna be more intricate. All the young niggas is on it now, so that's great. But they're not gonna be Tatari. I just use those words to kind of trigger people. You know what I mean? Like if I say flat Earth, that's a trigger. You know what I mean? We're dealing with platonic solids when you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, corporeal worlds. This is just not no, you know, whatever they want to call it, a ball, and we're living on the outside. No, life is always going to be on the inside of something. You know, you crack the egg open, oh, shit's in there. You know what I mean? Ain't shit on the outside except bacteria trying to get on the inside and fuck with the shit that's on the membrane and stuff. Peace. Peace, James. Bless you. You know? Justice. Just us in this motherfucker, yo. So we getting the fruit berries and the melons, and that keeps us sharp and celibacy and stuff too. We're gonna be so spiritual. They know this, and this is the way. You know, Mosiah's already told us that celibacy is the highest. It's the highest sacrifice that we can pretty much do. It's not like murder, death, killing, and sacrificing your child, because we already know a false angel came and tried to get Abraham to sacrifice his child, playing the role of the Most High. And so he had to question him and get the angel to go away. Because Most High, cause he told him yo, Most High said we shouldn't murder and kill anything. Really? When he was so down, they just like, yo, but he got the angel to go off and shit. You know what I mean? So we all got angels. We got a whole setup. We just got disrupted. And I hate these skies every day. That's some hell to do. Even out here, the skies is getting here. I'm like, dang, y'all going through hell, because y'all need this to be, you know, kind of cloudy, but with no sun. Because these UVs is what's powering us. They feeding our silica, our silica molecule, which is basically melanin and shit. Having the ability to store information from the F and ether just by sitting. Ain't even gotta do shit but breathe. Nigga, just sitting there. All you see Buddha sitting there like, nigga done figured out how to test the fingers and shit. You know what I mean? I got posters in this motherfucker. That's why when you play Ouija board, everybody come with the fingertips and put them on the board. That spirit, that Druidus that's right there, he's like sitting there, ain't got shit to do, eating popcorn and shit, or some meat, because that motherfucker ain't graduated off the earth plane. He's sitting there like, moving your hands and shit, and you know what I mean, giving you false realities. Same thing with the tarot reading too. Some now it's been so much tarot reading that they didn't believe that it was gonna be spell work. It's gonna be some repercussions from that. You think you're gonna tap into the spirit world? These motherfuckers gonna fuck with you? You know what I mean? You gotta have the Holy Spirit with you. That's the only way to interpret the tarot. It's like seeing the weather of the day. You gotta use the constellation, the signs of the moon, the planets that's lined up. We got all 12 planets. Boom, they in this house at this degree that day. That's how you know the weather. The moon's the fastest one going around. So you know, okay, the moon is in Virgo right now. Everybody's gonna be feeling Virgo-ish and shit. You know, pinpointing shit, intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And we know Mercury is the ruling planet of the house, which is a section, which is the corporeal reality of the corporeal element of Virgo is Earth, is in, you know, it rules that house. So we're gonna be on some intellectual shit, you know. And it ain't no retrograde or nothing right now. Everything that came out when it came to that. Now we see that the moon is doing this thing with the solar eclipse as well. So all this lines up. Now you kind of can just get a confirmation of what you is and see how, the Holy Spirit rolling with it now. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna test us, and they have. And now we got witches and warlocks doing tarot with all their little stones and shit. This is the tiger's call. All right, this came to me. All this stuff, the Aina gives to me. I don't even have to go shop. The Aina comes through and be like, it seems I need some shoes. Aina come through with some $100 hookahs and shit. Like I see you needed that. You know what I'm saying? I'm maintaining this shit. I may ask for a couple things, and Aina come through. I don't even know, somebody, one day I was blessed one time a while ago, $1,000. Like, boom, where's your cash at? And I was like, and it was around me a few times. And next thing you know, I just gave some heat light energy. Boom, looked out. I really don't even spend money like that because the Most High done trained the nigga to not be in a world, but just be in it, but don't be of it. You're gonna need little things, you know, especially if you have to go and eat. But if you can find a way to find some of the most healthiest food with certain farms, because you can develop different relationships now. You don't have to be just limited to the city. You can actually develop relationships with people who actually like to cultivate food and shit. You know what I mean? You can actually find people like that. Just go to little events and shit in your neighborhood and little talkings, and you'll see like, damn, they doing all of this. You didn't even know there's a motherfucking group that delivers baby that focuses on how to get the breech birthing out right and exact. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know because you haven't searched. So if you find a mother who's like, damn, this one got a farm. Now how can I get, what kind of talent can I add to them that make them want to deal with me and shit? You know what I'm saying? And you just come to the table because if Most High bless them, most likely you're gonna get blessed. You know, and that's how you can get. That's how I end up getting my information and stuff like that. Or most I put the right information in front of me at the right time when it's time to study, so I can be able to convey it back when I got to the right age. And this is pretty much after the coach of Cyprus, the 40-year-old. That's when you've grown, you know, to make it to this point through all the hells and losing friends and killing, the murder, death, kills and shit like that. You know, and jails and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you're able to still keep the whoop, then you know. Things kind of manifest, you know what I'm saying? And always been too. The Most High's always been blessed. So I'm gonna try to get love as much as possible without gaslighting or projecting. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the insecurities. I don't have the insecurities to project onto someone else. I always wish someone the best, and I'm not big eye, little you, and another person. They do that, and we all have done it in certain points, depending on how refined the individual could be. Because most likely, you're only jealous because the motherfucker's probably more refined in that art or whatever you is, this life, than you are. And so envy can come along with that, you know. And this is what most I want you to deaden. So to find a better way to explain how deaden that shit is to just go into the psychological medical terminology book, and it just says cluster B personality disorder, being exposed to, you know, things when you were a youth. Even in your genes, before you was even born, you can be subjected to all this before you was even born. But being born and actually getting that experience of probably being abused and touched, there's different styles and different things that you have to use in order that Most High give you these experiences to teach later on, or you just fall victim and someone can use you as an example of how not to be type shit. You know what I mean? It's all in together. We only can find out after the fact because the knowledge is revealed, and not that we just don't. All we have to do is just sit back, look, listen, and observe and respect. Because knowledge borns equality, and that's just being God together. 1 and 6, but that's power. That's a power degree in the alphabet. So just knowledge and your equality, that shows and prove your power in the supreme alphabet as being like the power is basically having that energy, force, and magnetism to apply that in your life now. By using refinement, which is what you know, which is refinement born knowledge, what you know to remove any trash and filth, and it's an ongoing process. It's never a point where you get to a point. It seems like that from if you're standing at a point or an angle, and it's like, damn, that's the highest point. But if you was going up, you'll see that was just another spot. You know what I mean? It still goes on forever. Well, forever, man. You know what I mean? So you have to refine yourself on a daily basis, and that's by doing that you're cultivating your happiness. And it's not to say that you're just a joyful, happy motherfucker. You is walking through some shit, but most I already said, like, you're gonna be walking through this, most gonna be falling at your right, left, but I got you, baby. It's like, damn, that means you're going through some shit. Because it strengthens your spirit and soul. So the reason why, like, how is it strengthened? What is the purpose of this? The reason is, we really like Star Trek. Niggas is really Ethereal, so we go from different planets, different worlds, but we already mastered our culture, our civilization to a point, which is our spirits also. Its culture is so big, it's more than just putting hip hop and beats and shit like that out. We got spiritual culture, meaning that we done went to worlds, like bees go and spread beehives and shit like that. We go to different worlds and experience different realities and different elements that the Most High created in order to strengthen our spirit, our soul, or basically our collective. Sometimes they want to call us the Borg, but that's not really us though, you know. But anyhow, though, Star Trek, like, you go to different planets. You develop your talent, your gift that you have in the S form. Goddamn, there are almost 100-some years before you get off of the earth. You only spend a small amount of time in the flesh. Everything else is in the spirit. And so they're still continuing on. Now you're going to learn the modes of travel in the spirit. Remember when you was first born, you was falling. You didn't know how to fly. You didn't know how to move around. Nothing. Just like in the flesh, you woke up, you didn't know how to, you couldn't do a lot of things. but you can see grown-ups doing a lot of things. You know, it's the same thing in the spirit. There's grown-up spirits that's teaching your ass and teaching us and helping us and inspire us. In order to connect with them, we got to clear our kundalini and just boom, keep connecting to the top. And they know that. That's why they put them damn chemtrails in the sky, so that we can block that communication. And it's not that it's straight up in the sky like that, but it's like you're more powerful. All you have to do is cleanse yourself, do your part, because ancestors there, they chilling. You know what I mean? The downloads is coming. Everybody getting it, and it's boom. We touching each other. We lit, dude. We lit. You know what I mean? And you can tell this through the spirit world, which is the dream world. If we still having nightmares, or what you call a nightmare and shit, we kind of still on the earth plane, you know, on the earth in the first resurrection when you go to sleep. I mean, you with hideous beings and species and shit that Most High is trying to get you to not be around. These motherfuckers, it's what these NOIs and these more science motherfuckers is trying to market to you to keep you on the first resurrection, so you can be around these old hideous motherfuckers that just want to rule you, because these are hideous motherfuckers that's controlling them, that's unseen, outside our sight, sound, and taste, you know, 300 nanometers and 700 nanometers. That's why they put nano technology in the sky and shit, because it's spiritual technology. You know what I mean? We go to worlds, we enlighten worlds enlighten us, because we run into other angels that was as old as us. And them niggas was trapped, they be traveling on light vessels for thousands of light years and shit, and we meet like them. We ask like, what the hell you was doing? Well, we're going over here, we're just surveying the moons and so and so of this. Like, oh, well, we've been out here doing this we've been on a trip for 100,000 years. Like, these angels just old, nigga. They're gods. You know what I'm saying? It's like Star Trek. And there ain't no plane that can fuck with a Star Trek when the Enterprise pull up. You know what I mean? When the Enterprise put up, they're gods, nigga. No vessel you got on Earth, no ship, no bomb, or nothing can fuck with the Enterprise. Because these are Etherians and shit. And this is what niggas is. And we're baby Etherians. It's like when mama and daddy Etherian gone and shit, and letting the baby do what it do, you know, mama and daddy still looking and shit. But it's like they want to see what tapping on the baby, like, and it's like, okay. You know, and now it's like, boom, mom and daddy. It's like, no one can't forget. And sometimes you got to understand, in the Bible, they put the words they move the words around. You know what I mean? The Lord, the Lord God, you know, the great I am, and just a regular God that just chopping it up with a mug. They've been switching all those up, so we won't have the understanding that, oh, the separation of like, oh, these are different kind of gods and shit. If you got an Etherian God walking with you, only Etherian gods walk with mortals at the beginning of an arc cycle. So that means that it's the time of light, shit dropping. You know, remember they fucked up a lot of our calendars and shit, so in our times. But you'll know when the information starts to become very real bad, it's coming. You know what I mean? That's when you know the Etherians walking on the earth. Shit happened. It means on the earth and shit. When shit happened, all kind of shit. Vortexes and shit opens up, and then you got muds that's coming from other worlds trying to stop the Etherians and shit like that. Because it's like, yo, they had a hand in their demise. And at all of these different treaties, like if you got on the map and you see all them flags, them was all the flags, them was all them motherfucking countries that said, yeah, I'll go against the nigga if you give me this. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and they get these motherfuckers this. It is how it is. And ain't nobody, you had no help but the creator. And the creator's gonna show too. It's like, nigga, I don't want nobody saying that they help my nigga, help my babies, not one time. I don't even want you to say that you even attempted to help my babies. I'm gonna show you. And that's what's going down. So we gotta let it happen and shit. And they're coming to their demise, which is basically when you're dealing with narcissism and cluster B personality disorder. If you let them mugs pull back, if you just pull back, don't give your energy, they're gonna hoover around, see what you're doing, try to get your attention. I'm talking about like his niggas don't even interact with people like that. Only the certain energies. You're gonna find out the energy. Everything's energy now. You can't even interact with certain niggas too, because they ain't on that frequency. You know what I mean? They got parasites and shit still up in them, because they poisonous animal eaters. Because, you know, false gods want you to eat right and exact too, just to keep you at least on a refined level, even if you do have a low grade in spiritual nature, but just enough to worship their ass. You know what I mean? Have your ass crawling across a fucking marble floor for a fucking 1,000 yards and shit, can't even look up into the false god's face and making it seem like he's the god of all I survey and shit. Meanwhile, you get back to the quarters in your spot, you seeing scars and shit like that. You're like, man, what the fuck? This is it's still heavens. It's earth and its heavens. So remember, there's one point at the top of the earth, and that's the north side. Ain't nothing above that. You know what I mean? That's the highest heaven. And they know it. You know what I mean? So, and they know you're going through these heavens while you're on earth and going to sleep. So they trying to disrupt you. You know what I mean? Keep you having sex. Keep you watching things that produce these dopamines. You're chemical people. You know, while you're in the flesh. But they know you etheric. So if they, as long as they can get you doing chemical shit that's in the carbon-based form, being in the beastly form and shit, they win it. You know what I mean? But once you start getting up in that crystallized form, boy, you start eating those fruits, berries, and the melons, berries going with the glands and detoxing daily and shit, hocking me up all the time. Not all the time, but enough to be like, damn, I'm getting them motherfuckers spot. You know what I mean? You'll notice. You'll start detoxing on a deeper level where that shit start coming out your eyes and shit. But that's later on in the detox because you do have lymph nodes and shit up in your brain, you know, and in your face. They don't want to tell you that. None of the false prophets, they told you all kind of other shit that came from planets and they didn't tell you this. They tell you put you to bed. It's like, damn. So they really, I ain't never seen none of the false prophets with an animal and shit. So they don't know how nature is anyways, because Most High communicates through the animals or the spirits do. You know what I mean? We had animal totem poles and shit. We sit back with birds and shit. We do what we do, you know? Basically, we got the etheric mic, the etheric hearing aid, and the etheric mic going on in this midnight inch. You know, so yeah, you can tell we've been all over the world. When we get to spots out in the Pacific, and they see a knocker with you know any other nationality out there. There's a triangle and shit that's special. You know, that's just like niggas. They to me they Israelites. They got the same type of bot. They're peaceful and giving and loving and shit. But they see you with the daggone fella, they're like. They know it's something that's striking to them. You know what I mean? I mean, that niggas already been through. We've been through here with the feather before. And we're back, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So we told you know what happens when we come back. It's gonna be the same thing as above, so below. Right here. Not below, but below right here. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, but you gotta, you know, understand this. We're gonna use this time right here to think and glorify the Creator. You know what I mean? That's what we don't want to give no false angel nothing, no credit, no false prophet, because they put their name above the Creator and shit. Moses could have did that shit, but he didn't. You know what I mean? Because that's a cold ass story. He could have been put this shit up. So it just goes to show you, the Most High is the greatest. The great. If you have angels of a high ranking authority outside of the earth plane, up in Etheria, that glorify the Most High, I mean they seen some shit that the Most High created before. Still, you know what I mean? That they couldn't even understand, see? You know what I mean? That was too mesmerizing for a mortal to even look at and look upon. Even on earth, you barely can look at any hideous creature and shit. So just imagine the infinity that lives out in Ethereum. It gets deep, G. So just use this solar eclipse to bring in something new. And to end anything that's old and weak and wicked, we're using the energies of the cosmos to do these things, to help with our thoughts and shit. Virgo will help you do it with thinking, you know what I mean? And that's when you concentrate and shit. Anybody that's a Virgo, you know, this is perfection. I'm a Virgo, shit. So yeah, I had Virgo 6 different placements on Earth. Most I wasn't playing this shit. I got, you know, he wasn't playing with it. And I had to look at it from another placement, you know what I mean? So it's like he wanted me to understand the heart, the mind, the body, the daggone, you know what I'm saying, the actual soul, all that, you know what I'm saying? But looking at it through my moon sign. Remember, the moon goes through all the zodiac, you know, often. Your name is pretty much your natal chart. So we're going to get back into that. That's why they wanted to attack us through that too. I was getting off. But they want to attack us through that natal chart because they want to throw you off and finding out you're just natural way what you're supposed to do. Like we knew our way. Like your 10th house is in so-and-so, and you have this, and it basically, you'll break it down your own self, like, oh yeah, no wonder why I got a love for children. I'm supposed to be helping children do this, that, and the third, because it's in your birth chart. It's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? And they know this too. If it wasn't important, they wouldn't talk about the zodiac every damn day and shit, every single day, you know what I mean? They wouldn't talk about it. But they know it's important because that's what we do. But now we're going to be so cold with it, we're all going to be like motherfucking terror. We're all going to be priest kings and priest queens at the same time, you know what I mean? So let's get back up to that point and be hella honorable and won't be coveting others. We naturally be like, damn, I can't wait to see the nigga that can do this, because we enjoy seeing a nigga that can jump from the free throw line, 15 feet away, 10 feet in the air and shit, you know, tongue hanging out, whatever the fuck. Like, that nigga, to see another nigga do that, it's gonna be super. So that means the Most High just use these examples of how to, you know, get inspired in the flesh. But you can get inspired by the spirit too, you know. Just clear that mucus about you, like I'm about to do. That thing far and filth, get that about you. You know, get by some water. It's like kind of like a protection and shit. They probably always like, hey, you always buy that water. You know, until we get to the crystal land and shit, you know what I'm saying? I go to them crystals and them waters and ponds and shit. I gotta do this. But yeah, I love you. Don't let these false prophets fool you. Don't let them try to take you off course of your own inner self. Tap in, because that's where the Most High is at. That's you, the great I am. You know what I mean? On that journey, that never-ending journey of forever and ever for everlasting resurrections. For forever, your spirit is gonna be there all the time. It's never a cease. The corporeal, the 666 body is the beastly body. It will burn. It will cease through time. You know, but the spirit is symbolic to like silica or a diamond and shit that lives, that goes on all the precious metals and stones and shit like that. It's like light. It's gonna last for it. It goes forever. You know, but if you don't cultivate it and you choose the other way, you will descend. The Most High says that part of himself is so hideous you never want. It's hard to come out. You have to send the highest of the highest angels just to come get you up out of that part. That's far. That's a long time. And just to save you all that time, it's not time. It's like, you know, like in the dream state, time is different. You can close your eyes and wake back up. Like, damn, I was knocked out for 15 minutes. You done did crazy shit. You're like, damn, I done went to the destruction of this and this. Can't woke up, your heart beating fast. Like, damn, I dozed off for 15 minutes. It means your ass, you know, you was tired. You went to here, had to go do some work somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. So your light body, your quantum body. You know what I mean? This is true metaphysics. So get that Kundalini right. You're tapping into all your whole body, all of you. You know? So with that being said, I love y'all. And I'll be with you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.